and welcome to Maths This Week. Every day this week in our maths lesson, we're going to have crazy hair because we're going to change things up a bit. And today, I've got buns, and I'm just going to, add in some extra clips to help my brain function extra better for maths. How do I look? One more on that side. Oh yeah, and now we're ready for maths. Let's share the screen. Today in maths, we're doing divide by 2. Now, as we did last Monday morning, I feel like to get us into the week, we need to get up and we need to do some movement counting. So, we're going to count in 2s. And we're going to do something. I'm going to do shoulders this time. Right, everybody, get your shoulders ready. We're going to count in 2s using our shoulders to help us. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. Got it? Good. And now we're going to count in 2s going backwards. Shoulders again. But we're going to start at 20 and go all the way down to 0. Are you ready? 20, 18, 16, 14, 12, 10, 8, 6, 4, 2, 0. That was tricky, yeah? Okay, let's count in 5s. And this time we'll do rolling, and then we'll go to that side and roll, and then we'll go to that side and roll, and then we'll go to that side. So have a practice so you know the movement first. Have a practice. Okay, counting in 5s. We're going to start at 5 and we're going to go all the way up to 50. Are you ready? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. I did an extra 2. Crikey. Counting backwards. Let's count in 5s backwards, starting at 50, going all the way back to 5. Brains connected. Beep. Here we go. 50, 45, 40, 35, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5, and I'm going to go all the way to 0 at the end. Well done. And finally, counting in 10s. You can do any movement you want to for 10. I do not mind. I'm going to clap and pat. Do what you want to do. Could be that you do that one. I might do that one. No, I'm going to clap and pat. Right, counting in 10s all the way to 100. Nice and loud so I can hear you with my big crazy hair. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. And back from 100 to 0. Are you ready? 100, 90, 80, 70, 60, 50, 40, 30, 20, 10, 0. Well done. Okay, hang on. Here I come. Take a seat, take a breath, take a sip of water if you need to, and then we will carry on the lesson. If I can. Oh, where have you gone? There you are. Sorry, keep going. Are we recording? Stop sharing. I don't want to stop sharing. You are screen sharing. Okay, hopefully I'm there. Right. Today's lesson is all about dividing by 2. You will need for this lesson paper, obviously, pencil, rubber, Loose parts as well. Go and find those loose parts that you used last week to help you share things out or group things together, because that might help you to work out some of the answers. And let's get going. If I can get Mr. PowerPoint to work. Hang on. From the beginning. There we go. Now we're rocking and rolling. Get ready. So, question 1, you can write that on your sheet. And this is what you need to do. And this is quite straightforward. Complete the calculations. Read it with me. The first one is 2, add 2, add 2, add 2 equals. You could use your fingers to work that out. 2 fingers, add another 2, add another 2, add another 2, and count how many you have in total. Or you could get out your objects, get 2, and then add another 2 to it, and then add another 2, and add another 2. What answer did you get? Write down the answer. I've got to take this hair out in a minute. It's crazy. Your next one is 2, add 2, add 2, add 2, add another 2 as well equals. You could work it out the same way that you worked out the first one. Or maybe you know a quicker way to work it out. You could use your fingers, your loose parts, or maybe because you already know what 4 2s are, when you add 4 2s together, you're just adding on an extra 2 to your last answer. Anyway, write down what you think that equals. We'll go over the answers. Let's have a look. 2 add 2 add 2. The first one, you should have got 8. And the second one, you should have got 10. How did you get on? Was it all right? Good, let's try the next one. Number 2, write number 2 on your sheet. And you can write out these number sentences. You can pause them if you want while you write them out. And then have a go at working them out. So it says complete the number calculations. The first one is 2 times 4 equals. And 4 times 2 equals. Have a think. Use your loose parts if you want to. 2 times 4, which is the same as 4 times 2. What is the answer to that? Your next one, 2 times 5. 2 5 times, or 2 lots of 5. Work out the answer to the next one, 2 times 5 or 5 times 2. And finally, 6 times 2, 6 lots of 2, or it'll be the same as 6 times 2. 6 lots of 2 or 2 lots of 6. What's your answer for those ones? Shall we see what the answers are? Have you managed to work it out? Have you jotted down what you think it might be? If you haven't, do that quickly. If you have, 2 times 4 and 4 times 2 is 8. 2 times 5 or 5 times 2 is 10. And 2 times 6 and 6 times 2 is 12. Hopefully your counting in 2s at the beginning of the lesson helped you to work that out. Finally, question 3 for our warm-up questions is how many groups of 2 are there in this array? So you can see we've got our diagram here with some yellow counters in there. How many groups of 2? So 2 in each group. How many groups of 2 are there in this array? Have a good look at it. What do you think? You could just write the answer down. You don't necessarily need to draw it. You can if you want to. There's no harm in drawing it. Just for a warm-up question. Pause me now. Work it out. Okay. Did you get the right answer? Good. 5 groups of 2. There are 10 altogether. And there are 5 groups of 2. Let's learn. So here's our first question. Yes, Smudgy. Here's our first question. The children are playing a game. Can you see them all there with smiles on their faces? They look like they're having fun. The children are playing a game. They need to get into 2 equal groups. How many will be in each team? Let's count how many children are there all together to start us off. Should we count together? Get your pointy finger out. That's it. Now count how many children you can see. Did you count the same as me? I found 8 children. Did you? There are 8 children there all together. They need to get into 2 equal teams. So at home, if you have, hey boy, I'm teaching. Smudges back. If you at home, if you get 8 parts, so 8 pencils or 8 counters or 8 bits of pasta, anything you've got from your loose parts, and put them into 2 equal groups. So share them equally. How many is in each team? Here we go. We've got 2 teams here. 1, 2. There will be 4 children in each team. The children are playing a game now. The children are playing a game. They need to get into 2s, so they're pairing up. They need to get into 2s. How many pairs will there be? Use your loose parts again. There's still the same amount of children. There's still 8. Use your loose parts to work out how many pairs of children there will be. There you go. It should look like this. We've got a pair here, a pair here, a pair here, and a pair here. 4 pairs of children. There will be 4 pairs of children. Sharing, for that question, when we were sharing, there were 4 children in each team. We shared it equally into 2 teams, and there were 4 in each team. So that can be shown by 8 divided by 2 equals 4. When we did grouping for that question, there were 4 pairs of children. There were 4 groups, 2 children in each. 8 divided by 2 equals 4. So 2 different ways that you can work out that dividing by 2 sum. Whether you do sharing, and that's easier for you, or grouping, that's easier for you. The answer will always be the same. The sum always looks the same. So let's have a look at this one, and we've got our lovely flowers back again. The question says, here are 12 flowers, and we can see them all lined up in a row there. The flowers are shared equally between 2 pots. At home, can you get 12 loose parts? Count them out carefully so you've definitely got 12. And then once you have your total, can you share those equally between 2 pots? It says the flowers are grouped into 2 pots. So once you've had a go at sharing them equally between 2 pots and you've got an answer there, you could then have a go at grouping them into pots of 2. Pause me now and have a go at doing that. Hopefully you had a try at sharing out those 12 parts and grouping those 12 parts. Let's see if your answers are similar to what mine are. It says here are 12 flowers. Well, we know that already. We've talked about that. And here's our 2 pots. Can you see them there? 2 pots in the middle of the screen. The flowers are shared equally between 2 pots. How many in each pot? Well, let's have a look.
I'm going to put one in one pot and one in the other. I'm sharing them equally, so they're going to be the same amount in each pot now. There's 2 in each pot, 3 in each pot, 4 in each pot, 5 in each pot, 6 flowers in each pot. When I shared those 12 flowers out, there are 6 flowers in each pot. So the sum, the number sentence we could write is 12 divided by 2, shared equally by 2, is 6. There's no flowers left over. The flowers are shared equally between 2 pots. How many flowers will be in each pot? 6. So here's our 12 flowers again. Let's have a go at doing grouping of 12. So get your 12 bits out again. Is this how you did it? And remember, you're putting the flowers are grouped into pots of 2. So you've got your pot and 2 flowers go in each pot. How many pots will we have all together? We've got 2 there. Now 4 flowers have been used. 6 flowers have been used. 8 flowers have been used. 10 flowers have been used. All 12 flowers have now been used. They've been shared, grouped into those pots of 2 in each pot. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pots all together. So we could say there are 6 pots of 2. The sum is 12 divided by 2 equals 6. What if we had 13 flowers? Not 12, but 13. The flowers are shared equally between 2 pots, and the flowers are grouped into pots of 2. What's going to happen if we have 13 and we try to do that exact same thing again? Get 13 loose parts out in front of you, so add 1 more to your last lot. Can you share them equally between 2 pots, or can you group them equally into pots of 2? Pause me now and have a go to see what happens. How did you get on? Let's have a look. Is that what happened with you? There's 6 flowers in this pot. There are 6 flowers in this pot, but this poor flower over here, can you see? He doesn't fit equally into a pot, because remember, if it's equal, it's got to have the same amount on each side. So he's left over. There are 2 pots of 6 flowers and 1 flower left over. Now, if we had our 13 flowers and we were grouping them, 2 flowers to a pot, just like before, we can fit 12 flowers into those 6 pots. But again, there is a flower left over. There are 6 pots of 2 flowers, and there is 1 flower left over, because 13 can't be shared equally among 6 pots. So, which groups can be divided by 2 with no flowers left over? In our pictures here, we've got 1, 2, 3 different amounts. With your loose parts at home, can you have a go to see if you can divide these amounts into 2 groups with nothing left over? Let's try the first one together. How many flowers do we have in our first group? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Get 5 bits out in front of you. I'm going to get my old whiteboard out. Here we go. If we're going to be dividing them by 2, I'm going to have my 2 groups here. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to see if I can share them equally into two groups. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's not going to work, is it? I've got 1 left over. I have 2 in that group, 2 in that group. But this one can't be equally shared between those, so I do have 1 left over with that one. You have a go with the other 2 questions below that. Count how many flowers are in each, there all together, and see if you can share those equally, or if there's any left over. Pause me now. How did you get on? Let's have a look. For the first one, we did that together already. There were 2 plant pots, 2 flowers in each. There is 1 left over. The one below, we had 6 flowers all together. 2 in the first plant pot, 2 in the second plant pot, and 2 also fitted in the third plant pot. So there were no flowers left over there. They could be divided by 2. 6 divided by 2 is 3. There are 3 plant pots. And 1 underneath that. How many have we got in total? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's see if we can divide 7 by 2. And there is a flower left over. 2 flowers go in the first pot, another 2 go in the next pot, another 2 go in the next pot, but there is still 1 flower left out on its own. We could only divide 6 by 2 equally. Have a look at your worksheets now and have a go at questions 1 to 3. And that will be helping you to consolidate all the learning we've done so far this lesson. Pause me now and have a go at questions 1 to 3. Welcome back. How did you get on? Let's move forward and have a look now at these number sentences. And rather than using diagrams and loose parts, I want us to also move our learning forward by using number lines to help us work out these number sentences. Let's read what we've got together so far. It says 16 divided by 2 equals. So we're going to find out what we can get using a number line if we divide 16 by 2. Now on our number line, all the clues are there for us. It starts at 0. It's going up in ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, all the way up to 16. And we can see that quite clearly. To use a number line to help us to divide 16 by 2, we can count in 2s, starting at 0 and going all the way up to 16 to work out how many jumps that's taken us. But watch carefully. 2, 4, 6, 8. How many jumps have we done so far? We've done 1 jump to get us to 2, another jump to get us to 4, another jump to get us to 6, so that's 3 jumps, and then the 4th jump to get us to 8. Okay, but we're not at 16 yet, so let's carry on. 10, 12, 14, 16. Let's count how many jumps we've done to get us from 0, counting in 2s, to 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Well done. 16 divided by 2 equals 8. It took 8 jumps. We can also use the number line, and this one is exactly the same as the one above, and do the counting backwards in 2s to work out the answer. Starting at 16, counting back 2 gets us to 14, 12, 10, 8, 6, 4, 2, 0. It's the same amount of jumps whether you're counting on forwards by 2 or backwards by 2. What about this question? Now, this is when it's getting a bit trickier. It says something divided by 2 equals 12. What could I put in that box? What do we need to divide by 2? What do we need to share equally by 2 to get to 12? Could think about it a different way. How many groups are there going to be? 2 groups. And there's going to be 12 in each group. So what could our total be altogether? Use some loose parts in your house. I've got some yellow counters here. You could use some loose parts to see if you can help. To see if they'll help work. Can't talk now. To see if the loose parts can help you work this sum out. Look closely at my diagram first though. I've got my loose parts here, but because I've got Mr. PowerPoint, we can turn these into 10 frames. If you have a look, I've got 10 here. There's my mouse, there we go. 10 here. I've got another 10 here. And I've got 4 at the end. There's my 2 groups. Have you got your 2 groups sorted, your side? Put 12 in each group. There's my 10 frame there. I've put 12 in this group over here. You can see there's 10 in yellow and 2 in red. That's exactly the same in the other group as well. 10 on this side and 2 is the red. So I've got my 2 groups of 12. So what is the total altogether? What are we dividing by 2 to equal 12? If you haven't already come up with the answer, and I think some of you have by now, just to note another way you could work this out could be to do the opposite of a division, which is a multiplying question. So you could do 12 times 2, and that will give you the answer as well. So the inverse of each other. 24. Is that what you were thinking? Is that what you had worked out? Well done. If you have 24 parts and you share those equally between 2 groups, you have 12 in each group. That was a tricky one. Let's try another one. Something divided by 2 equals 10. Something divided by 2 equals 10. So I want you to pause me and see if you can work that one out. How many groups have you got? How many is going to be in each group? Have a go to see if you can work that answer out. Pause me now. How did you get on? And remember, I also mentioned in the last clip, you can do the opposite of dividing. So you could times the 10 by 2 to give you the answer. 10 times 2 might give you the answer as well. How did you get on anyway? You should have had 2 groups. Hang on a minute, let's get my whiteboard back out. And there were 10 in each group. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You see that? And this side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. How many is that all together? That's right, 20. Well done. 20 shared equally into 2 groups equals 10. Or 10 times 2 equals 20. Have a go at the rest of the questions now on your worksheet, using what we've just talked about to help you work out the answers. I hope you get on okay, and if you have any problems, don't hesitate to ask us on Seesaw so that we can help you out some more. Good luck, have fun and enjoy. Bye-bye, children. This is where it takes me forever to finish it off. Hang on. Stop share. Bye, everybody. Bye. See you tomorrow. Crazy Hair Tuesday. Bye for maths. Bye.